Suppose I am given a ring and it has radius r. I rotate this by motion of my finger. My finger is itself rotating at a radius r with omega 0. I have to find what is the minimum omega 0 so that ring doesn't slide down, and that will depend on the friction force between the ring and the finger, and also what is the kinetic energy of the ring. That part is the most important and exciting part of the problem. I'll discuss the problem and many issues beyond the problem. I'll go beyond the question, so that idea is not to solve the question but to discuss certain key aspects in rotational motion, and especially where there are multiple rotational motions, like in this case. Or you are familiar with these two motions where you have a sphere on another sphere or a cylinder inside another cylinder. Some interesting part, do you notice here the contact point, the center of mass of the moving cylinder or sphere, and the axis about which the motion is being analyzed, they are in the straight line. They will always be in the straight line because of the geometry. So we'll be using this concept here. These problems are relatively simpler because this is fixed. This is fixed. But here we have some more complexity. Now, key point we should keep in mind when you are rotating finger about some fixed axis. Let me call that as FA, fixed axis. I am rotating my finger about the fixed axis. I am not rotating my finger about my axis because I can't rotate. My finger will break. Though it is not so relevant in this problem, but it may be relevant in some future problems. If you take the fixed axis, and this is the path traced by my finger. Radius of my finger is very small, but radius of path is not so small. So this is the radius of path traced by my finger. Don't get confused between the two things. This is not the radius of finger. This is the radius of path traced by my finger, and if this is the surface, my finger has to be inside the surface always. And let me show. This is the finger. My finger cannot rotate about my axis. At the most I can do this 90-degree turn or in some cases by good yoga you can do more turn, but you cannot keep on rotating it. So if this is the point of my finger, this is the point of my finger, and this is the center of my finger, and my finger comes here, you see my point A of finger and B of finger will still remain like this because my finger is constrained. It cannot rotate about its center. Finger cannot fully rotate. And when my finger comes here, I am discussing few things beyond the point. It may be useful in some future problem. Just see. So my finger maintains, this is some fixed frame. I am looking from the fixed frame. Orientation of my finger doesn't change. So my finger is not rotating about its own axis. But see the interesting point. Here the ring is in contact with A, and here the ring is in contact with B. So ring, when you do this, you will feel that ring is ruling over the finger. That is why you get that impression of ruling on the finger. In the problem it is said that assume that the ring is rolling on this surface. Actually the ring is rolling on the finger and the surface is created by the finger. And what ring is doing? Just let me draw the ring, how ring will look like, and just compare with what the language of the question says. So there is some little bit of ambiguity. I am too small to point out that, but I have right to be critical. Even if I am wrong, I can always be critically examining science. We should keep on doing it. That is how things evolve. So this is the outer ring, and this be the center of the outer ring. I call center of mass. In physics, whenever you solve the problem, look at the main object. Main object here is ring and not my finger. because you have to find the kinetic energy of the ring, you have to find the force, centrifugal force of the ring. So find where is the center of mass of that object, which is the key object of the problem. So center of mass you should always try to find out of the key object in the problem, and key object is ring here. This is being moved by this contact point, which incidentally changes to B when this picture is just the opposite. If the ring is on this side, just see. So ring has rolled over my finger. It is not slipping over my finger, but the point of contact which my finger had with the ring is changing constantly. Another situation can be that you have a fixed kind of a or let me draw a smaller radius, a fixed cylinder or a ring, same surface, and now I fix it and I have an outer ring and I impart some velocity to it, then it rolls over this surface. Here my point is that ring is moving on this surface but rolling on the finger. Here the ring rolls on this surface and that is how it moves on this. So it is rolling on this. Like here, the sphere is rolling on this. There is a pure rolling motion. It is rotating and moving forward. Same thing is here. Here it is rolling on the finger. But anyway, that doesn't make much difference to how we solve the problem. So we cannot say here that I can say that I take a suppose there was some imaginary ring or disc here or cylinder, whatever, means anything you can take with radius should be r. Having radius r, I have broken it and I retained a sector, and this sector is maintaining this point of contact. In this situation, if I imagine, I'm just trying to explore larger aspects of the problem. The contact point with the sector don't change to maintain the motion. But in the problem which is given to us, because the finger cannot rotate, so contact point changes, so ring is rolling over the finger. So if you try to analyze using a object which is rotating, a sector which is rotating, that may not give you the correct picturization, correct visualization, but it may answer will come whatever way you visualize, you will get the results you will get. But I was discussing the critical points because in future it can be a sector, in future problem it can be a fixed ring, in future problem it can be a ring which itself is rotating about some axis and it is also rotating about its own axis. Instead of finger, tomorrow you can get a problem where this is rotating about its own axis also, and its axis is rotating about another axis. No end to it in JEE Advanced. These were certain complexities which are there. Now let me simplify it to solve the problem. What I do is I take this center of rotation, I call it as axis of rotation, or I call it as fixed axis, and this is the point of contact, this is that radius. I again trace whether it is rolling on this like this or whether it is rolling on my finger. That is not so material here because I have to find only energy of the ring or the centrifugal force which ring is exerting. So these other nuances are not relevant at present, but they may become relevant in future questions. Now let me draw the ring, and the ring is like this. I am doing it very slowly, but idea is to analyze it critically. Now key point you should note here is that all these three will always be in straight line. The point of contact, PC, the fixed axis, and the center of mass of the moving object. This is the moving object. It has a center of mass. This is a fixed axis of the object on which it is rolling. Here this is an imaginary object. It has a fixed axis, so they have to be in straight line. Now my finger, which was here, let me draw this small finger, moves certain angle theta in time t. Theta is done in time t, so omega of rotation, which is given omega 0, is nothing but theta upon t. My finger is rotating at angular velocity omega 0, which is constant. Now by geometry we know that these three have to be in the straight line. The center of mass now also rotates by theta and it lands here. So this is the new position of center of mass. I can write it center of mass dash. Center of mass is rotating about the fixed axis, and let that angular velocity be omega a, and omega a is theta upon t, which is same as omega 0. So the angular velocity of the center of mass of this ring about the fixed axis is same as omega 0 that we have got from geometry. One more omega is left here. Now in every rotational motion you should also take the likely rotation of each element of the ring with respect to its center of mass. So if point P happens to be on this imaginary surface, or happens to be on this finger, to be very clear, this P is moving here with a velocity on this surface. If you look from the fixed frame, the velocity of P in the fixed frame, the velocity of P is omega 0 small r. This is the small radius. It is moving omega 0. This is the velocity of P, point P, which is on my finger. Now there is a point Q on the ring, and P and Q don't slip. That is what is given in the problem. There no slipping is taking place. Whether you say it is rolling on the imaginary surface, whether you say it is rolling on the finger, actually it is rolling on the finger. Imaginary surface would have been in this situation. Whatever may be, that doesn't change. The basic idea is that the velocity in the fixed frame of point Q is same as the velocity of point P in the fixed frame. Point P is on my finger, which is omega 0 r. Now what is the velocity of Q? To find the velocity of Q, you should know the relative velocity of Q with respect to center of mass. The point Q is rotating about, the point Q happens to fall on the ring, and ring is rotating, not only the center of mass of ring is rotating about omega a. Forget omega 0 is the rotational angular velocity of the finger about fixed axis. Omega a, so omega 0, omega a I have mentioned. There is omega c, which is the angular velocity of the points on the ring about the center of mass. Means how the ring is rotating about its own center of mass. How Q is rotating about the center of mass. That is omega c. Interestingly, all three will come equal, and let us see how they come equal. Now velocity of Q, when I try to find out, if I know the velocity of center of mass and I know the relative velocity of Q with respect to the center of mass, I can find the velocity of Q. And let me find the velocity of Q in this direction, because Vp is in this direction. So what is the velocity of Q in this direction? Velocity of Q in this direction, first of all, Q is part of the ring, and ring has a center of mass, and this center of mass is moving with some velocity, which is omega a. Omega is the angular velocity of center of mass and fixed axis. These 2 points which have distance r minus r, they are rotating, center of mass is rotating about the fixed axis with omega a. So velocity of center of mass as seen from the fixed frame is omega a r minus r. This distance is r minus r. Don't write r. This distance is r minus r, and it is upwards in the fixed frame. So if I want to write V center of mass in downward direction, because if I take this as the reference and I am measuring in respect to this reference, I will write minus v center of mass. So velocity of q will be same as velocity of center of mass minus, or in the minus I will add, because I have taken v center of mass is actually in that direction. I have taken reverse because I want to find in this direction. I will add the relative velocity of q, Vr of q with respect to center of mass. So it is Vq in downward direction is minus v center of mass plus Vq with respect to center of mass is omega c into r. Distance of q from center of mass omega q with respect to center of mass is omega c between q and center of mass, and the distance here is r. So that is why I have taken r. So Vq in downward direction and Vq will be in downward direction is v center of mass is minus omega a r minus r plus omega c r. This will be equal to omega 0 r. And I have found that earlier I have shown that omega a is equal to omega 0 based on that geometry and angle I had just mentioned. So put the value now just in this equation. Omega is nothing but omega 0, so minus omega 0 r plus omega 0 small r plus omega c capital R is equal to omega 0 small r. This gets cancelled, so this r gets cancelled. Omega 0 is equal to omega c. So omega a is equal to omega 0 is equal to omega c. All the omegas are equal. By intuition you could have taken it based on what is the motion which is given, but logically this is what we have proved. Now coming to the other aspects of the problem, we have to find that what should be the minimum omega 0, which is very easy actually, so that the ring doesn't slip down. What is required for that? What is required is there has to be some reaction. That reaction will give you frictional force, and that frictional force has to match with mg. And let us see, if the side view we see this is the contact point, this is normal reaction n, this is mu r, this is mass, and this is the distance of the center of mass, which is mg is the value. So if mu n is equal to mg, there is no vertical acceleration, or the ring can maintain its position, even though there is a catch here not linked to the problem. If you take a thin ring and take this 90-degree angle, you can balance the forces. N is equal to the centrifugal force. What is that centrifugal force? We'll find out. N will be equal to centrifugal force, mu n is equal to mg. But when I start taking moments about this, I get clockwise moment, but I fail to get anti-clockwise moment. Actually there has to be some angle, theta. Anyway, we don't want to go into that. Let us simplify and just take it. Let us not go into all those complexities. Maybe the problem wants only this much, mu n is equal to mg. Now what is the value of n? N will be equal to the centrifugal force exerted by the ring. Actually that force will act where? Be very careful. Centrifugal force will act at the center of mass, and it will depend on the angular velocity of the center of mass from the axis of rotation. What is the axis of rotation? Is this fixed axis here is the axis of rotation. Center of mass is rotating about this axis. Like here in these cases, you took this distance r plus r, and you took the omega of center of mass about the axis, omega dash, and this was omega say, and there is a relationship between omega dash and omega that you get based on velocity of center of mass. So we always take the angular velocity of center of mass from the axis of rotation. This axis of rotation is not the instantaneous axis. It is this fixed axis. This fixed axis can itself move with a uniform velocity. That's a different matter. But this it has to be an axis about which the center of mass is rotating, and distance you take is the distance between the axis and the center of mass. So by that you get centrifugal force is m r minus r is the distance, and what was the angular velocity is of the center of mass about the fixed axis was omega a square. Omega square a square happens to be omega 0, so m omega 0 square r minus r is n, so mu n. So this I am not doing, you can do yourself. Find out the value of omega 0 by equating mg with mu n. Now coming to the next part, which is more interesting, is what is the energy of the ring. Now I can find energy of the ring in two frames. Let me take two frames. One is the fixed frame and one is the frame which is fixed to the finger, or I can say frame of finger or the rotating frame finger. Let me find the energy in both the frames because it is not mentioned in which frame you have to find. When I take the frame of finger, each frame will have the translational and the rotational motion. Translational motion, rotational motion. Translational motion, rotational motion. What is rotational motion? Be careful. In the rotational motion, it is the angular velocity of the different elements of the body about the center of mass and the moment of inertia about the center of mass. When you take the rotational kinetic energy, do not take moment of inertia at the point of contact. If you take this moment of inertia at the point of contact, then what you get is you get the sum of both. Actually that gives you the sum of both. So rotational kinetic energy doesn't mean that. Rotational kinetic energy means the kinetic energy in the center of mass frame of that body. Means how the particles are moving with respect to the center of mass of that body. So that is why omega about center of mass and moment of inertia about center of mass. These are two key points which we should keep in mind. So center of mass, so in these two frames this will be same because it is about rotational motion is about the center of mass, and center of mass itself is placed somewhere in the fixed frame. In the fixed frame, center of mass is moving with what velocity? Velocity of center of mass in fixed frame is very simple. We have calculated. It was omega 0 r minus r. Actually it is omega a r minus r. Omega a was equal to omega 0. In fixed frame, in this finger frame, what is the velocity of center of mass in finger frame? So with respect to finger at the point of contact, this is the point of contact, the center of mass is rotating with the angular velocity omega c, and the distance is r, so it is r omega c. Omega c happens to be omega 0 in this case. So this is velocity of center of mass in this frame, and this is in the fixed frame. What is the rotational energy? Let me write the form of energy also. This form of energy is written on the basis of velocity of center of mass. So it is half m and velocity of whole square of velocity of center of mass in the concerned frame. So it is omega 0 square r minus r whole square. Here it is half m r square omega 0 square. What is the next part? Next part is the rotational kinetic energy. Rotational kinetic energy is half I moment of inertia about center of mass is m r square, rings moment of inertia about its center of mass, into the angular velocity of the elements of ring about center of mass, which is omega c, which is nothing but omega 0 in this case, omega 0 square, and this is same on both the sides, half m r square omega 0 square. So this gives you the result mr square omega 0 square is the result obtained in the finger frame, and here I get m omega 0 square upon 2 r minus r whole square plus r square. What is given in the problem is that the radius of finger is very small. I don't think we should take r as very small as compared to r. Radius of finger is very small, but there is a difference between radius of finger and radius of rotation of finger. So we should retain this answer or this answer. Anyway, you can recheck it with others. This is my opinion. Nobody is perfect. I can also be wrong, but I would not like to ignore r here. Some books have put r is very small as compared to r. You take r as common. This vanishes, so you get m r square omega 0 square, same as this. But this is the kinetic energy in the finger frame, and this was the kinetic energy in the fixed frame. And one thing more, you have to see that the finger is getting constant energy from me, the person who is moving the finger. So that angle is also there. So there is a constant flow of energy. Energy is going into this system, and then ring has its own energy on this system. So energy is constantly being flown on this frame which is moving. So energy of the ring in the frame is this, topped by the energy which I am giving, can give you the correct form of energy. Anyway, the issues are debatable. The ambiguities are endless.